Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm a free-to-play content creator for Rise of Kingdoms. I'm playing on my second account here in 2293, and we had our Kingsland on Friday. I'm recording this on Sunday, and everything was pretty much finished yesterday. So we had a 24-hour Kingsland, and this is the only zone that I've been really present for more than like 4 hours. But basically, what makes this Kingsland a bit usual for me, because we're here in the top left, but we entered the Kingsland from, bottom right through our ally zone. So we went in, we built all the way up to the Zig, then we pushed left to cut off the opponent. This maneuver took around 24 hours. It was quite, fun. We had some good trades, some good, stalling points during the some downtime. We didn't really lose too many flags, and yeah, this is probably the most I contributed throughout 2 KVKs that have been here. Last KVK was against 1093 in 1960, but that was, a farming KVK, and that kind of took the edge off personally for the fighting. But I also had a really busy period during November, and I got sick around New Year's, and then we had the biggest snow here in over a decade, so I had to work. All these things piled up, and I had another account, my main account in 85, doing Kingsland and KVK as well, so everything kind of snowballed into one 10-day period where I just couldn't really, I felt like really burned out and still recovering from the illness. And I tried to do as much as I could because I felt like I had to. I haven't done much in the earlier zones, so we reached S tier, so this was a really good KVK overall. Had a lot of fighting. Unfortunately, I came on short to get 20k gems. I didn't have enough resources really to catch up to the acclaim that is needed. So I spent, as you can see, I spent 9.2 billion resources, mostly food, and not a lot of deaths. A lot of these deaths came in Kingsland by swarming and trying to hard fill flags, but it's kind of hard to do when there's a rally and there's a lot of swarmers around it with max tech and a lot of marches. So I tried but couldn't really do it. So everything that I've done basically has been in these, I would say, 12 hours that I played total. And I got, let's see, 12.9 million kills. So not the greatest ratio, but we've been going 2v1, 3v2. So trades have been, I would say, even for the most part, and I usually don't retreat, so my trades were not that great. Sometimes when we're really pushing, I could have really good reports. I guess some of these stratagems helped to bridge that gap a bit, because I use some of it mostly to preserve my resources. I think I like this one a lot, probably the most. And I think everyone took 1 heart, 1 mind just for that extra damage. March speed, I think, is always good to pick. Then I picked this one. I don't think there's too many good leadership skills, so I took this because of Philip, and I took this to increase the duration. And then I picked this one because I go all the way out to sad face, so any type of extra saves that I can inflict, the better. But like I said, there's a lot of these skills, but I feel like most of them are just useless, or they need to be updated to, because there are some that do skill damage, and you don't really have too many skill damage commanders. So things like, this one, skill damage, this needs to be updated to, include smite combo, and I think this could use a really good revamp. So this was my stratagem for the Kingsland. Nothing too special. Now when it comes to my resource and the bag, like I said, I ran out of food. Like the other ones, I could still, do some more fighting, especially speed ups wise. I have a lot of speed ups. I think I use like maybe 200 days or 300 days total. I'm not too sure, but I feel like speed ups were never an issue and will continue not to be an issue. But as the title says, this will be my last KVK. Not because I have anything against 2293, it's just because I do not have the time to play two accounts. I've been struggling. I haven't been doing the events. I've skipped most of the events that come around, and I can't really commit to having two accounts in the KVK. It just takes too much time that I do not have. I'm not a full-time content creator, so I have to make some decisions. I've had my hopes of this account, 6 months ago. I'll be going with this account. I'll be having a lot of cool KVKs, and I was really excited for the 1093, 1960 KVK. I thought about, what, this could be a really good KVK to test myself, maybe go all the way up to max tech, but then nothing happened in the Diplo, so I kind of dropped some steam there and just having another 2 months, 3 months to farm or just play passively just kind of left me a bit lethargic about the account. I still going to continue to finish off the KVK here, but after that I'm just going to return it to the owner and call it a day on this account, so I can focus on my main account, upload more videos, just make my schedule more manageable for myself, because there's too many things and something has to drop. So I would rather drop this account rather than my main account. Kind of makes sense, but that's just where I stand. I'll probably make a dedicated video about burnout experience, things like that. But one last thing is I'll give you my marches that I used. So I'm using QSH YSG, Baichi Philip, Arthur Achilles, Hugo Joe, Lucha Alex. And I gotta say that top performing marches were these two. Arthur Achilles, did decent, but it's just the fact it's a fast march. It gets kind of out of position and you kind of get wrecked. Obviously, Achilles' skill activations help out to go down swinging, but ultimately, Baichi Philip, with the Baichi expertise, I feel like it's been the most consistent march that I used throughout the KVK, or I should say this zone. And I highly recommend it, actually. Baichi is a really great commander if you're going all the way in. If you're not trying to micro too much, he's your guy. Now the march that done poorly is Huo Joan. Huo is really not it anymore. I feel like he's just been going to be used for chaining and forts. I don't want to. I think the new meta is going to be just 2 delta marches if you're using Calorie. I think you can go all the way around. Maybe if you use Attila Achilles or Arthur Philip, it's something I'm considering to do on the account, but it's probably not going to be my decision. And the most surprising march in like a negative way was Lucha Alex. Lucha Alex was usually my consistently good trading march, but this KVK it didn't do well. Not sure why. Maybe because it suffered the same fate as Achilles, because it's fast. Maybe it gets out of position, but I've been negatively surprised by the impact it had. So those were the marches. Those are the stats. I showed you the back, and when it comes to the general account, as you can see, it's been mostly infantry account, and the notable investments I made in the account was work on Baichi, work on QSH, and work on Achilles. And I feel like these are really, you can't go wrong with these commanders. And we have the commander reset hopefully coming in the next week or two, and I have a decent amount of universals combined with the reset, so we shall see how the new infantry looks. Could potentially swap for the new infantry, or if it's not going to be an improvement, I'm probably going to go for a cavalry commander to replace Huo, but we shall see. We shall see. So, once again, shout out to 2293. It's a good kingdom, but I can't fit everything in my schedule. I'll be making more videos about my main account, how it did there. KVK is finished there as well. Plus, I might be making more videos this week as to try to make myself more available to make content. So, thank you for watching. Catch you guys in the next one. See ya.